And here we are, live, ready to go. Sorry I had to extend everything by an hour, but that was by the request of the spouse, so that we would have time for dinner, and I wouldn't be rushing. And I guess she's kind of tired of me rushing around so much, so we slowed down, had dinner. It was a good dinner. I fixed Caribbean jerk chicken with yuca and a little maduros. Things I learned while I was in Florida. And let me tell you, it's good quality stuff. Coin Guy America and Eric Beyer, Donna Mac, Farm Dog. How you guys doing? Well, I've got the roll ready here. This is a 1955 D roll, but the first thing I want to talk to you about is next week's reveals are going to be from the foil wrap series. There are those rolls that we opened up that were foil wrapped. Well, I've got a few additional dates that we did not have for sale because I only had 1 or 2 rolls of each. And I want to open those up this coming week. They're going to be rather inexpensive and they're going to be very fun. I'd like to see you get involved in them. They are going to be for sale tomorrow evening during the auction. Starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, through Tuesday, the 22nd of December. So I'd like to see all of you come getting involved in that roll, in those rolls. We'll get a 61D, we'll get a 62D, a 63 plain, 63D, 68P, and 69D, among other rolls that we will be selling as reveals. So I thought you guys would like to know that. I put a little splash screen together for you. They're the foil wrapped series. We'll be talking more about those later on, as in tomorrow. For now, yeah, let me see. There we go. There's my screen. And here's the roll. And here's the flip inserts all ready to go. Why do I have one? I got one flip backwards. I don't know why. That happens sometimes. I get myself backwards in things. Yeah, I got myself caught backwards in the toilet one time. That was a mess. All right, here we go. There's our 19... Oop, there's coin number 1 right there. Just jumped out at me. Hi, Donna Mac. All right, here we go. That's a 55D roll if I've ever seen one, I do believe. We're looking for all sorts of things on here. We've got a FS listed double diobverse that we could be looking for here. We've got a number of different repunchment marks and other pretties. And this one goes to Paul Hampton. I'm going to start it off at Paul Hampton here. And here is coin number 1. I'm going to have to work to get through this quickly. What is going on here? Huh, that's weird. My program froze up on me. Hang on just a second. Let me get it started up again. That should be live. There we go. Back out just a little bit and get us focused in. This is the roll coin that was on the top of the roll. It has some spots, but I don't think the rest of the roll is going to turn out like that. Let's see what we've got here. We have anything good? Tell me something good. We do have an RPM here, if I can ever get focused in on it. Yep, it does appear to be an RPM. Pretty decent little RPM. It's a later die state, though. See if I can find anything that helps us mark this one so that we'll know when we get others of the same die. Well, there's something good right there. Big, long die crack running across the bust. That ought to be good enough for us. And there's that. Nice one. So here we go. See what else we can find. Is there a double eyelid on this? Perchance. Not perchance. I did restart the computer. So the computer can't be blamed on the camera's issues at this point. All right, that's coin number 1 for Paul Hampton. That is a repunchment mark. And we move on to coin number 2. Coin number 2 goes to Yo Man Gull. And Yo Man Gull's coin is another RPM. Another RPM. We do not have quite the same die crack running across the bust on this one. This one's a lower die crack. You can see it there running from the corner of the shoulder inward and upward. A little bit of a clash between the Y and the neck on this one. This one is spotty as well, though. Hey Hoop, how you doing, buddy? And at some point, we're going to meet. Probably end up being over there in the Charlotte area. Meet up at a coin show or something. When we actually start having coin shows again. Hey, Doug. All right, Yo Man got himself an RPM out of this. And that's coin number 2. Now coin number 3. Going to Paul Hampton again. Getting Paul Hampton's out of the way earlier, aren't we? Oops. Got a little scrubber scuffer thingy on there. A little piece of wax or something. There we go. I knocked it out of the way and found an RPM. We got another RPM. This is the third RPM in this roll. Let's see if it matches the others. No, it does not. This one is different. It has probably a head crack. No head crack. Okay, it has a die scratch running to the left from the bottom of the T. Die scratch running to the left from the bottom of the T. Let's see if there's anything else on here that we can call a good die marker. I don't see anything specific. So we have a third RPM out of 3 coins. Hello, Bill. You having surgery in 3 weeks, Brian? Not good, brother. What's going on? Are you correcting something or... I hope it's not a bad thing. Well, hello, Spiked Head Die Crack. I appreciate that very much. That's what these were intended for. Something for you to listen to while you're doing your own thing. And when you hear something you didn't know, you can turn around and learn something. Right? All right. Coin number 4 goes to Marshall. This one is for Marshall. Looks like a condition of the coins is cleaning up just a little bit. But unfortunately, it appears as though we don't have anything on this particular coin. Unless we look at maybe, perhaps, the eyelid. Nothing on the eye. Nothing in the motto. And nothing on Liberty. A little behind the head clash. Robert Smart, how are you doing today? Welcome and thank you for joining our feed. We're going through a roll of coins that were previously unopened. We just opened them up. These spots for these coins sold in last Tuesday's auction on the Copper Coins channel. Time now to get yourself registered so that you can bid in tomorrow's auction. Got a lot of nice things going on tomorrow. We're going to have some giveaways too. Gosh, what am I doing here? All right. Coin number 5 is going to go to Adam Connor. Wait a minute. That coin number 4 didn't have anything on it, so I've got to move it over here. There we go. Adam Connor. Let's see what we got for Adam Connor here. Nice RPM. We've seen this die before. We've got nice split upper and lower serif. I can zoom in here. We can take a better, closer look at it. There you go. You can see all that doubling going on there. Let's see. Back my lighting back off of it so I can get everything focused in and get going again. This is a nice little RPM. Let's see what else we've got. Head crack on that one. Big heavy head crack. And let's take a look at the reverse and see what we have on the reverse, if anything at all. Where are we? Where is the coin? Here it is. So evidently in the last month and a half, I've had 2 videos flagged as for limited advertising because of content in the videos. Evidently there's somebody taking the time and the effort to go through reviewing all of the streams set up on YouTube so they can gauge whether or not they want to put any advertising on them. That's kind of ridiculous. All right, that is coin number 5. Now coin number 6. I've had to go through and remonetize the channel because it's, well, not willing to accept everything that I offered. Very strange. Robert Smart. The scope that I use is an Mcroscope trinocular microscope. It's not one of the cheaper ones. It has infinite zoom on it, as you can see. The scope itself is not digital. There's nothing digital about the scope. You don't plug it in. The camera and the lighting, of course, you do plug those in, but neither of those are special in any way. The camera fits onto the trinocular tube of the microscope and looks straight down through the tube to focus on the coin. And then the light is a dual fiber optic light guide, halogen 150 watt bulb set up inside of a box with a rheostat control. And it was created by Applied Scientific Devices. It's called the Echo Light 150, and they run about $700 new, $650 to $700 new. So what I use is not going to be easy or cheap to replicate. I think I said this was not, yeah, this one is not an RPM. Sureg is next. Not an RPM, not the big double die, and not a minor doubled eyelid, nothing on Trust, and nothing on Liberty. Well, go on and look at the reverse of this one here briefly, just to see for ourselves if there's anything on the reverse side. I don't see anything, though. Double die reverses would be minor and very widespread. I mean, very far spread for the 1955D issue, because I don't even know of any of them. All right, here we go. Now, coin number 8. Coin number 8 to John L. Another 55D here. And it is another case of not nuttin'. We started off really great, and now we're kind of sputtering a little bit here. Get that off of here. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Don't like people bothering me during my streams. But they don't know it. Most of them have no clue that I'm doing a stream. Except for the people who work with me on the backside. They should know. Alright, there's another one. No RPM, no double die. Here's Tim Morrell. Tim Morrell, coin number 9. 999. Got nothing on the mint mark there. And this roll's kind of icky. Got nothing there. And go ahead and take a look at the other side of the coin. See if there's anything we can find here. This whole roll kind of looks stained, spotty. A lot of that comes from the planchet wash. Unfortunately, they didn't do a very good job of washing these planchets before they were struck into coins. That sometimes can cause issues, just like the ones that you're seeing here. Alright, that's coin number 9. Moving on to coin number 10 now. Coin number 10 will go to Yo Man. No, there might have been a die clash on there, Jim, but a lot of these have die clashes. I wasn't really necessarily focusing on that. So I didn't see it until I'd already put the coin away. Nothing there. Let's go ahead and fold this one in to the mix. And I have a whole lot of happy little coins that get to go home soon. Unfortunately, in this roll. See, there's another one. No repunchment mark. And here we go looking. See if we can find anything in or around the I, Trust, or Liberty. Nothing. That's for Donomac. Now coin number 12. Coin number 12 to Jeff Dunn. Good gravy, people. Okay, this is an RPM. You can see it right there. There's a little bit of extra on the bottom, and there's a split serif on the top. So we will be able to identify and get this one marked as identified. That's a good break in the drought. 6 coins. All right. And so we're good with that. Can move on to the next coin. Jeff Dunn has an RPM. So now, who's next? Not Deanne. Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher comes up next, has the next coin in line. That's a die clash right there. There should be another bit of that die clash on the reverse that you might be able to see just a little bit of right there. It's going to be part of the curve of the Sea of Scent. They're pretty common. So I generally just kind of look at them and sort of skip over them. They make a decent marker for something else, but in and of themselves, they're not much of anything. Kind of like these die cracks. They're nice, make a good marker, but they're not really valuable in and of themselves. Well, that's number 13. Let's take a look at number 14 now. Was that an RPM or no? I can't remember now. Jeez, I'm crow, Chuck. You have one job, boy. You have one job. Get it right. I've got to stop and refocus. I can't hold it tilted. I think we said it's not an RPM, but okay, not an RPM. Alright. I'll try to remember them from here on out. Diang, coin number 14. And coin number 14 brings us fuzz. There we go. This one does appear that it could be an RPM. It appears to have something on the bottom. Yeah. It's another one of the same die again. Another one of the same die again that we had in coin number 12. Got a bunch of die scratches to see. Looks like he's chewing on a piece of straw. And there's a couple of die scratches coming up out of the nose. So we can use that as a marker for that particular RPM. There we go. That's the one. Right there. Okay, so we could turn it over and take a look at the reverse real quick and see if there's anything on the reverse that we should need to discuss. Doom, despair, agony on me. Deep, dark depression, excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Doom, despair, and agony on me. I bet half of you don't know what show that came from. Half of you don't know. Had no clue. I watched this show with my grandparents when I was a kid. Well, some of you know. No clue, dude. Well, at least I got one person being honest, huh? Hee-haw. A country music television show from the early 70s. Actually, 1967 or 68, 69 is when they came around. I think they ended their show in the early 80s. Late 70s, early 80s at some point. If any of you remember Junior's telephone number. Searched the world over and thought I found true love. You met another and you was gone. That's right, BR549. One way to get around things, huh? Alright. I probably just broke all kinds of YouTube rules. Okay, there's another one. Another one of our RPMs. I wouldn't be surprised to see this deleted tomorrow because I tried to sing on the channel a song that I don't own the rights to, and I do not own the rights to it. That was to whatever recording studio and whoever did hee-haw back in the day. Uh, 3.5x to 90x, you're going to get... Yeah, because if you put 10x eyepieces on there, you're talking about 35 to 900x. You don't want that. The most you want is 35. That's on the high end. 7.5 to 0.7 to 3.5 with 10x eyepieces. That should do well for you. James Worley, as his name is in our register. Mr. James Worley, this is your coin right here. Do we have something or not? I thinking I'm going to look at the bottom of this thing again. Okay, we do not. Lots of half-spotty coins. Bill, you would think they wouldn't care, but when I played some music during a 69S, some Woodstock music during a 69S roll reveal one time, the entire video was deleted by YouTube because I was copyright infringing. Hi, CVS. Now for coin number 18, Donna Mac. I got my fingers crossed for you, Donna. Didn't work for some other people, but it looks like it's going to work for you. Looks like we've got a little bit of an RPM here. Let me check the bottom serif, and we do. We do have a little bit of an RPM. Let me take a look. See what else we have on here, if anything. Then I'll put this to the side, and we'll work on it. Try to get you a die number for it. Yeah, if we can get you a die number, it'll be on the flip before you get the coin. And as a plus, to anyone who may not know already, if we find any die varieties in these rolls that Copper Coins needs a photo of, I'm going to photograph the best coin in the roll with that particular die prior to sending them home, and that particular coin will end up being a plate coin for Copper Coins. Now, if you send that in to Annex with the little holder that I'm going to give you, and tell them that you would like that plate coin designation on your flip, or on your holder, they will definitely do that for you. I'm sure there's a fee for it. I'm not sure. I don't deal with their fees, but what I do know is that you can get the plate coin designation on your coin when you submit it, if they can find it on my website. So even after you do receive the coins, make sure you look them up on the website before you send them in. Make sure I've already got those annotated on the website, as we are running a 2 to 3 week behind schedule on that. You have to realize that when we're adding hundreds of coins of information, at least 100 per month is what we've been doing. It takes the collaborative effort of a few different people and a lot of time to get this done. Yeah, well, Bill, there's a real big deal about making sure that nobody breaks anybody else's copyright, because, well, we've kind of gone on the litigious side of society. And, of course, YouTube is going to make absolutely certain there's no way that their platform can be sued for anything. So they're going to police everything to death, to the point well beyond where it needs to be. So I'm sure that no one's going to sue you, or no one's going to come after you if you're sitting in your car singing to your neighbors. But on a broadcast platform where there are millions of possible viewers, they are going to police it. All right. They only noted them as new discovery. Yeah, I probably need to give the president of the company a call and talk to him again about what I'm doing and how they can help themselves help me. Adam Connor gets the next one. Adam Connor will get this coin right here. Not an RPM. This one was also not a double die. Nothing doing. Darn it. So we got any questions from the Peanut Gallery about Chuck, about collecting Lincolns, about copper coins, or anything like that? If you have any questions, just let me know. This is an open question session. I will give you answers to the questions you seek answers to. This is an RPM here. Nice one, too. Jessica, if you can't find the planets, you went outside too late. They were low in the western sky and they set a couple of hours after sunset. Yeah, they'll be out there tomorrow, but they won't be as close together as they were today. Yeah, they set here around 7:15, maybe 7:30. I told you to go outside at 5:45. Okay, that was an RPM. That's coin number 22 now. Now coin number 23. Coin number 23 will be for Jim Fletcher. Let's see what we have for Jim Fletcher here. No. A much nicer coin than some of the others that we've run into. However, this one is not a double die or an RPM. Nothing there. We'll move on to the next after we look at the reverse here real quick on this one. Just want to give every different die I see, I want to take a look at one of them on the reverse and see if we have any hub doubling on the reverse. Robert, you know, it would be something I would need to talk with you one-on-one about because they get very expensive. And I don't recommend digital microscopes. I never have, because I think digital microscopes are kind of lacking in quality. I've never seen a digital microscope that does what I want it to do, which is give me, pretty much give me publishable quality photos at high resolution. Never found a digital camera that can do that. A digital microscope, anyway. So I got a regular analog microscope with eyepieces. Basically analog meaning it doesn't have any electronics inside of it. All of the stuff you plug in is added to the microscope. The microscope sits alone on its own. This one's not an RPM either. Yeah, we'll move on to coin number 25. Now we're halfway through the roll. Jeff Dunn will pick up the next one here. So yeah, Robert, if you want to give me an email at cd@coppercoins.com, that's cd@coppercoins.com, I will happily discuss with you what I think a good microscope consists of, but it's going to cost you around $1,400. And that's the best I can do, because I don't know anything about the cheaper microscopes. I don't buy them. Okay, so this one is an RPM. RPM for Jeff Dunn here. Now coin number 26. Coin number 26 is going to go to Adam Connor. Get the coin out here. There we go. Coin number 26 for Adam Connor appears to be a normal coin. Let me take a look at the eye. It is a normal coin. No hub doubling, no RPM. We got somebody in here I missed. ProCoin Collector. Where is ProCoin Collector? I don't see ProCoin Collector in here. Am I blocked for some reason? Who are you seeing, CVS, that I can't seem to see? Okay, got nothing there. Well, Coin Guy American, I really don't know how to give anyone a review or information on something I've never bothered to use and never bothered to buy. So I'm telling you what I know, based on what I know, and based on what I've done. I have never seen any digital instrument, digital microscope of sorts, be able to dignify the possibility of having publishable images that are publishable on web or in a book or magazine. I'm very picky about publishing images of coins so that they work out right. Even what I'm doing right now is not publishable quality. I'm doing a live microscope quality. Publishable quality would be a little different than what I've got going on here. So, what is it that I can't see non-members? What is up with that? Jessica, any way you could figure out what's going on with that? A CVS says that he sees someone that I can't see. Unless they came and left already and I just didn't see it and they got out without leaving a trace. I don't want that to happen. I don't want people coming and going without me being able to say hello to them, because that makes me look kind of stuck up on myself, and I'm not. I just don't see them. There's another one. Another one of our somewhat minor RPMs, but you see. Oh, Pro Coin Collector. Here we go. Brian Hooper, his other channel. Okay. I couldn't see, at first I couldn't see on there. That's weird. CVS said, hello, Pro Coin Collector. I couldn't see your message. Now I can. That's odd. Yeah, Robert, the way I have always kind of looked at it is, if you can't produce an image that makes what I'm looking for quite obvious, I don't think it's publishable, and I only get equipment that will deal strictly with publishable quality photos because that's what I do for a living. So for me to be able to give you some idea of something that will quote unquote work for the masses, I would first have to have actually subscribed to the idea of purchasing that stuff. I did have a Dynolite given to me, a Dynolite Edge. It's okay. It's not publishable quality, but it's okay. There we go. Another one of our minor RPMs there. That's for Joe Mcbride. So, yeah, I see him now. CVS. Yeah, I prefer only to speak on the things that I know about, and I don't know much about digital microscopes, although I've never seen one that actually works well. Never. Not even the Dynolite Edge at $600 was not a microscope that I would want to use to try to publish a book. Just not high enough quality. It works. I mean, you can look through it, but it's not very good. It's acceptable for things that need to be accepted. I'm not really sure I even like the quality of the one I'm using right now for what I'm doing right now. There's another one of our RPMs, because it's just difficult to use for what it is. But I can get pretty good close-up pictures. So if I really wanted to try to take a picture of this coin like this, I would readjust my light so it was shining on the serifs. And then I zoom into the RPM itself. I focus in on it really well. I pick my light out of the way. Turn the camera. And then you can see it pretty well like this. And that's if I wanted to take pictures of this one, which I don't really have any reason to, but I just wanted to show you that it's possible. I'm not sitting in front of the microscope, so it's very difficult to operate it like this. But that gets us closer to the idea. And then if I want to take care of that spot up there, I can change my exposure setting to work on that little spot up there. And it darkens everything else to bring it down to the level of the spot. Actually, I'd probably do that over here. Then I'd work on readjusting my lighting to get a little bit more on the actual serif. Like that. So yeah, photographing stuff like this takes a lot of effort. Hey, 710. 441 is sunset. Yeah, around 5:30, 5:45 is a good time to go out and look. You'll see them very close together, but they won't be like tonight. Tonight you could actually take binoculars and look at both planets at the same time in binoculars. That's something that is generally impossible to do. It will happen again in 2080. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be alive then. I'd have to be 112. So that's what I'm talking about in order to get publishable quality. So I'm not talking about something that'll just work. I'm sure a lot of people have something that'll just work, but I wouldn't be pleased with it. Joe Mcbride is next. So I'm seeing a lot of slight staining, light brown spots on a lot of these coins. That means that the roll at one point or another was stored in a wet area, and it's really hard to tell that when you haven't opened the roll. Yeah, a macro on a camera is going to do so well, but it won't really capture what you're really looking for. Not if you're trying to do micro shots of coins. It's not going to suffice. It's not going to give you good enough resolution. At the magnification, you're going to end up blowing your your digital zoom way out into ditherland. This is an RPM, however, it has suffered a pretty decent size hit on the lower part of the mint mark. Nope, got nothing else on this one. That's for Sureg. So we got coin number 34 now. Coin number 34 for Jim Fletcher. Jim, this is your time. You got an RPM out of it. What do you know? I do believe this is an RPM. I think it's an RPM. It may not be, but I'm going to pull it out anyway. Look at it closer later. Anything I'm on the fence about, I'm definitely going to pull out. It may or may not turn out to be what we're looking for, but I'm going to find out. And that one's going to go in the pile with the rest. Now coin number 35. Yes, that's correct, Robert. CD at coppercoins.com. Here comes Tim Morell's coin. Let's see what Tim ends up with here. I'll go ahead and kill my focal spot so I get a better look at the entire coin. There we go. And looks like Tim Morell did not get anything this time around. Let's take a look at the eye to be sure. Nothing on the eye. Nothing on Liberty. Take a look at the reverse of this one real quick in the central area to see if anything happened to have popped up. Looking for one of those central type of double dies, a class 4. They do show up sometimes on wheat cents when you don't expect it. I found one on the back of a 1934, interestingly enough. All right, let's see. Well, that's coin number 35. Coin number 35 was not anything that we were wanting to look at, so here is Eric Beyer, coin number 36. And number 36 in the roll is not an RPM. No, not an RPM. Not a double die. If you went out after sunset by 20 or 30 minutes, just enough to be able to see the light of the celestial sky, it would be at about 30 degrees up. And the moon will be at just over halfway across the sky from it. And you'll see two what appear to be bright stars that are very close together out in the sky. You'll be able to take your binoculars and point at them at Jupiter, and you'll be able to see its 4 moons. And then you would move just a little bit and see Saturn. Tonight was the last opportunity to be able to see the 2 planets in the same field of view in your binoculars because they were extremely close together in the sky. What I'm understanding is I think they were 0.1 seconds in the sky apart from one another. That is extremely close. We're talking about 2 bodies next to each other, not really even with any space between them. Now, Paul Hampton. Yeah, and tonight they actually start the process of moving past each other and spreading apart again. Now, the 2 planets have been at a place in the sky over the last 4 months that you could see them in the same basic area of the sky. Each day they have crept very, very slowly closer together. Today was that day that they actually crept to the point where they weren't going to get any closer to each other and are starting to crawl away in the other direction. It's kind of like a car passing another car on a highway going across country. They start out at LA and New York, and they're very distant from one another. At some point, going the same speed, they'll both meet somewhere in the middle of the country, let's say Kansas. And on a map, they would look like they're in the exact same spot. Whereas actually, they're a few feet away from one another. Well, you have to imagine that, and tonight, it was that night that they were very close to one another, but only a few feet apart. Yes, it's Jupiter and Saturn. You can see Jupiter or Saturn and Saturn in the sky at pretty much any time during the year if you know where to look. Jupiter is actually quite a bright object. It's a yellowish object, about half the brightness of Venus, or a little more than half the brightness of Sirius, the dog star, which you can also see outside right now. Go find Orion and look to the lower left of Orion. You'll see Sirius, the dog star, on Canis Major, which is the large dog constellation. I'm having a problem here with this coin. It's my holder. It's not the coin. It's not you. It's the holder. There's nothing on this one, though, unfortunately. Yeah, and there's also a stream where a guy did a live view through a cell phone, basically. Cell phone and a telescope. Oh, nice. This is sweet. That's pretty. These are those times I just enjoy. John L. got himself a nice little RPM here. You can see the split on the vertical post. You can see an extra piece on the upper serif, and I'm sure the lower serif is going to be split too. It is. That's just cute. Yeah, you can see Jupiter and its 4 moons if you have a good zoom lens on your camera. It doesn't take a whole lot to see Jupiter's 4 moons. Callisto, Ganymede, Io, and Europa. And if you have a good telescope and you look at Saturn, you can see its largest moon, Titan. One thing I think is amazing is that Mars has 2 small moons, neither of which you can see even with a decent backyard telescope because they're too small. And you got Mars that's so much closer to us than Jupiter. Yet you can see 4 of Jupiter's main moons just by looking up with a pair of binoculars. It's amazing. Yep, Mars's moons, Phobos and Deimos. Oh, there's another one of them right there. Next coin, Eric gets one of the same die that John just got. I have actually, with my own backyard telescope over time, have spotted and seen and have actually confirmed that I have seen every planet. Now, that's true or not true, depending on whether or not you see Pluto as a planet, which I do and did not see. But as modern science would have it, Pluto is discounted as a planet, so I've seen all the planets because I've not seen Pluto. Pluto is too small to capture with a backyard telescope. Too far away, actually, and too small. But I've seen Mercury a few times. You have to find it after sunset or before sunrise, real close to the horizon. You're never going to see it very far up off the ground. And then Venus. Venus is easy. Venus is it is the easiest planet to see, actually. Then you've got Mars, Jupiter, Saturn are very easy to see. Uranus is one of those that you have to know where it is. But once you know where it is and you center a good telescope over it, you'll see it. It will be the little gray dot that doesn't blink. And then Neptune, same thing, only it's a lot smaller, a lot farther away, and a lot harder to see. Well, it really isn't smaller. It's just optically smaller to us because it's so much further away. But Neptune, if you do happen to get a telescope pointed exactly at it, you will be able to see a little blue dot. It's kind of it's kind of a milky, hazy blue color, kind of like an opal. But it's, you can definitely see it. I've tried observing some of the larger asteroids in the asteroid belt, like Ceres, but I've never actually been able to see any of the asteroids because you have to plot them. They're so small, you have to take a field shot or plot them in a notebook over a period of a few nights and figure out which star moves. That's going to be your asteroid because the stars don't move in, well, any kind of speed across the plane of field that you can see. The stars don't move. Not in your lifetime. Over 8 or 10 lifetimes they'll move from one place to another. In fact, they have. Did you know the dipper of the Big Dipper is going to open up and pour all the water out by the time the year 4000 rolls around? Better drink all that water in the dipper before the year 4000 comes around. Oh, nice. Sweet. Bam. Nice RPM. I don't remember which one this is, but it is nice. Hi there, Majestic. That's a nice RPM right there. That's going to be one to go down in the books. Yeah, it's on the bottom and on the inside of the upper part. You can see it right up here. Starts up here on the upper serif. It goes around here. Right inside there. And then you can see it again down here on the bottom. And just a little bit on the side right here. Nice little RPM. This one goes to Mike Birchman. Oh, Penny Saver Cash. That's the one thing I am definitely not a car person. As far as cars that race or things like that, I'm sort of interested if I can drive them. But as far as different models of cars and stuff like that's concerned, I've never had any interest. Wife wants to go shopping for a new car at the dealership. No interest. Have zero interest in going to a dealership. I'd rather poke myself in the eye with a straw. And here we keep going, keep looking around. There may be a time I might test out my idea of doing a roll hunt where basically all I'm doing is hunting through the roll. And if we find anything that people want to buy, we will auction it right then and there. So I'll basically enter it into a sheet and we'll auction it. And you'll get it that way. Was this... Gosh, I'm up to where I can't remember what I'm doing from one moment to the next anymore. Okay, this is not the RPM. I already put the RPM where it goes. That was 43. Okay, this is 44. All right, now 45. Coin number 45 goes to Marshall. Looks like I just got an alert on my phone that tells me that the House passed the relief bill. So everyone should be expecting their $650 or $600 per person anytime. That's another RPM for you there. You can see a little bit on the top, and you can see a serif split on the lower part. Hi, Carl. I do remember you from the past, and I welcome you to the channel. And I do have plans of redoing the old guide, which was for memorial scents, but I'm also going to be writing one about wheat scents that will go together with it, kind of like a little volume 1 and 2 together. So another little RPM for Marshall here. Now, coin number 46, Jim Worley. Jim Worley, coin number 46, right here. I want to know one of those really pretty RPMs for him. And I've got nothing here. I'm going to refocus here. There we go. Got nothing here, it appears. Do remember, we will be having an auction tomorrow evening. And in that auction, we are going to be including some of the foil wrapped rolls that we've done before. Only these are going to be like 1961D, 1962D. They're going to be some of the dates that have not yet been available because I only received 1 or 2 of each of those dates in the rolls I got. And I figured to share those rolls with everyone rather than sell them outright. So I have them here. And I have a graphic ready for you on this. Take a little bit of a break right here, right before we get to the end of the roll. That way I can entice everyone to show up here at the auction tomorrow. There it is. The foil wrap series. All of the rolls that you see in the background there will be opened this coming week in reveals. all of the rolls that I have ever seen opened of these, or all of the ones that I've ever seen anyone open out there, had really, really nice toned coins inside. Well, let me go back to it, take a look at it again. I don't think I saw an RPM on it. Looking at this coin again. Nope, no RPM. I didn't see anything. Nothing there. A little worried about the integrity of the whole postal system, but there's really nothing we can do about it. The only thing we can really do is just insure your packages, send them registered if they're valuable, which we are doing. We're going to have to also relook at our insured rates. Make sure that we're insuring at a rate that we can actually afford and is acceptable. This is another RPM. RPM here for Yo Man. There we go. Yeah, and if you need to register for the auction, the best thing to do is send us an email prior to the auction actually opening, because once the auction opens, we may not be able to get to you for a little while, and well, you're going to want to bid on something you can't bid until you're registered. The way to register is send an email to coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. And when you register, see, there's another RPM for you. And when you register with us, you will automatically be able to bid. What you're going to do is send an email to coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. Send us your YouTube name, your real name, and your PayPal email address, and we'll get you registered. That way you'll be ready to bid. All right, got us another RPM here, and that one's for Sissy. Now, coin number 50. Last coin in the roll. Goes to John. And let's see what it is. It is an RPM. John's going to get an RPM out of this one. You can see the double lower and upper serifs, and you can also see a little separation line on the inside of the vertical, the upper part of the vertical on the left. On the D. Perel, you have to send it to us through an email. But I guess we can take it that way. Can you see it, Jess? That's a hidden message. You can go ahead and take it that way. If you can see it. Can you see it, Jess? I'm not sure whether you can because of how you're logged in. Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and take it down and register. All right, Perel, we've got you taken care of. I don't know if your name is Perel or Perel. Do you put the accent on the first or the second syllable of your first name there? Okay. Second, Perel. Okay. There's all of our normal coins right there. Don't have a whole lot of them. Looks like probably, I don't know, a little more than half the roll. And then for the RPMs, double dies, whatever else we have in here that are varieties, and I will be going through these a second time, of course. But these are going to be coins numbered 49, 48, 45, 43, 40, 39, 34, 31, 29, 28, 25, 22, 18, 16, 14, 12, 5, 3, 2, and 1. And those coins belong to, there's Paul, Yo Man, Paul, Adam Connor, Jeff Dunn, Deanne, Adam Connor, Adam Chambers, sorry, Donna Mack, Deanne, Jeff Dunn, so I'm a little too high up here, Jeff Dunn, Marshall, Joe McBride, Mike Birchman, Jim Fletcher, John L., Eric Beyer, Mike Birchman again, Marshall, Yo-Man, and Sissy. Is that normal? Yes, actually, it is. There is. If you have 2 RPMs or 3 different RPMs in a roll, your chances that half the roll are going to be RPMs is pretty high. And that does happen somewhat frequently. So, yes, it is rather normal to have, I'm going to say anywhere between 10 and 30 RPMs in a roll is kind of almost normal. Of course, it's also normal not to have any. But it is a nice roll. You had 3 on this reveal, only saw 2, and John only saw 2 for you. Okay, let me check real quick. There's 1. Let's see here. Okay, I found 1. You have to go back and check your invoice and see what I charged you for, because I may have only gotten you in 2 spots, or you may have only called for 2 spots. There's 2. Okay, yep, you only got 2. So I will check the sheet. Did I charge you for 3 on this one? Well, if I did, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. But I can give you a refund for the one I did not get you into. Let me look at it over here. Go to my sheet and see. Queen Knight live auction for well, you look at the actual sheet that I printed for it is going to be right here. I may have washed it out already. Let's see. I probably already took them out. I know I did. Because these were the sheets for... No, this is today. I only got you two times in there. Donna Mac. Let me see what I got you charged for on here. $27, $28, $29, $230. Donna Mac for 3. So who did I give an extra one to that belongs to Donna Mac? Well, let's see. Adam Chambers should have gotten 3. So somebody got a lot that they shouldn't have. Adam Connor got 3 and should have gotten 2. So one of Adam Connor's actually belongs to Adam Chambers. Deanne for 3. Donna Mac for 3. Eric Beyer for 3. Farm Dog for 2, Jim Worley for 3, Jeff Dunn for 2, Jim Fletcher for 3, Joe McBride for 2, John L. for 3, Levels of Madness for 3. I didn't get quads in there at all. Boy, something really got messed up here. I'll sort it out. I'll get it all sorted out. I'll figure out which ones of these went into places where they shouldn't have. Who got coins that shouldn't have? Mike Birchman, for 1. He didn't get any. I must not finish this. Ugh. That's horrible. All right, I'll get it straightened out. No, I'll get it straightened out. I made the mistake. The mistake is mine. I'll get them straightened out, and I'll get them out to the right people. And we'll take care of it. No worries. I'm not worried about it. I know it'll get taken care of. Okay, folks. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take off for the night. I've been at work for a long time today. Been doing things for a long time today, and I'm ready to take a break. Plus, my Steelers are on TV. So, I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great night. Yeah, CVS doesn't have any, but I don't think CVS actually paid for any in this one, so I'm going to get it straightened out. Mike Birchman got 3 of them. He shouldn't have gotten any in this because he didn't get in this role. So I'm going to reassign his to other people who were actually in the mix. So I'll get it taken care of. No worries. You guys have a great night. Have a great weekend or a great week. And if you guys have time, come by the auction tomorrow. It's going to be really nice. And then we're going to do an auction on the 1st of January. The 1st of January is going to be a really nice auction. You guys will want to be there because there's going to be a lot of things going extremely, extremely cheap. So you guys have a great night. We'll talk more about the 1st of January auction tomorrow. Yes, the auction starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Every week, every Tuesday, except the first Tuesday of the month. Every Tuesday except the first one of the month. So you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later.